Thanks for joining me for some more CastIt from Replay games. This is Lokazi casting for you for StarCraft subreddit /CastIt. This is a game that was uploaded a little bit earlier today between Eternity, the red Protoss in the bottom left hand side here on Neo Planet, and who's up here in the top right? WKY Crazy, the blue Terran up here in the top right. Now, this map is pretty interesting in the map pool, as there's no watchtowers. It's been quite a while since there was a map without one of those. I'm trying to think. The last map without any watchtowers. I don't remember, really. Whirlwind only has one in the middle, which is pretty weird, too. So in Heart of the Swarm, less watchtowers going on, seems like, in the ladder pool. At least less useful ones, at the very least. Over here at Eternity's base, everything's going pretty normally. He dropped the 9 pylon and went out to scout with his probe, so he's going to be able to see what's going on. He says, Master, Mistel, question mark. He is confused by the Mistel. Crazy dropping his 12 racks. Mistel, weird, tongue, face. Nobody's mouth stays straight when they make a tongue. B is a weird face to make with that. Ooh, this actually, oh, that SCV almost got picked off. But now, the probe, who was on attack command, just decided to attack the other one. How sad. Refinery going up. It looks like it went up actually before, no, it was slightly after this racks, but still, looks like he's going to be very prepared. So this is probably a Reaper opening, since he pulled SCVs over there right away. That or very fast tech, maybe a stim timing, but probably a Reaper opening. There's a decent amount of space on this map for Reaper, especially this little jutting out peninsula right here. So pretty common opening actually in general in all the Terran matchups right now. You can get a lot of scouting information out with a Reaper, so not uncommon at all to see that going on. A little bit of a wall going on here with the gateway and the pylon, which again, kind of building a little bit SimCity is pretty good to stop the Reaper going through certain paths, stuff like that, again, because it is so common in PvT right now. And the probe stayed here long enough to see a second gas didn't get picked up and didn't see a factory go down, which lets him know, yeah, it's a Reaper opening unless there's some type of proxy factory somewhere on the map, oddly. So, it's positioning for a low ground pylon. Now, you can't warp on the high ground with pylons anymore, so even if he places it like right here, you can't warp up there. You have to actually have it on the same level, and that was a 4-gate type of nerf thing going on for Protoss. It also is pretty important nerf from Wings of Liberty to Heart of the Swarm, because Mothership cores give high ground vision pretty easily, which is why Blink Stalker play is really awesome right now. Alright, so Reaper's backing up, trying to kite these probes. Hasn't killed one yet. There we go. Good job, Reaper. You got a kill. So not only did you get scouting information, but you also got 2 kills. This Stalker is going to come out, though, and it's going to drive that Reaper off. He's going to bounce, go heal up, probably come back in. Again, a little bit too much space to be covered by one Stalker, though. He hops up right next to the ramp, or right next to where the Stalker could shoot from the ramp, pretty much. He's going to shoot in, see that third gas, or that second gas, which he hadn't seen till now. See that there's just a little... Oh, the Reaper dies and falls into some weird little pit area. What's going on in there? There's like a little turbine going on in there. Okay. That's kind of fun. Bunch of Marines being pumped out. Bunker going down, command center on the low ground because they had all that Reaper vision. He knew there wasn't any threat. He knew he could start it down there. So it's going to finish up. Engineering Bay started up. Engineering Bay, pretty interesting choice off the bat. He didn't see anything besides one gateway, and he didn't see the Nexus going down, I don't think, did he? No, okay, yeah, he didn't see the Nexus going down. So he's got to think, well, Stargate is a real possibility here. So Engineering Bay, not only can you start your upgrades really fast, which a lot of Terrans like to do in this matchup because they know they're going to be behind in upgrades later because of Chrono Boost, but also lets you drop a missile turret, which is going to protect you from those oracles. He knows he's ahead right now. He knows that's a really easy way to fall behind is if an oracle gets into his mineral line and just messes stuff up, because he only has 4 Marines, now 6, but they're not actually very well equipped to handle oracles, so you need quite a few. I think an oracle can kill something like 4 Marines if they walk in a line, especially, pretty easily before dying, because they deal so much damage to light. Alright, so now both players have their expansions up. It is, how many probes? I think like 20, 26? Okay, so the Protoss player is quite behind on economy because he's down 3 probes and 2 mules are running. So that's quite a lot of economy that he's down right now. Probably should be chronoing out that, actually. He moved a few of his workers over to leave 16 there at the main. And nothing really too exciting going on back here at the Terran player's base. 3 racks going up, pretty standard. +1 about halfway done right now. 2nd gas finally going up. And 4 Marines just kind of chilling over here playing Guardian. Scan goes down across the map, scans right on top of the base, sees 2 gateways in the back, sees some stalkers chilling in the mineral lines. These stalkers of course placed for A, drops. If you come in, this is a little stalker wall, and you're not going to be able to chase probes out if you run this way. And B, more drops as far as things that don't chase, so widow mines. So that's why they're placed right there. Observer chilling on the front of Crazy's base. He doesn't see it. It's actually kind of difficult to detect with that ice right there underneath it, actually. A lot more so than other maps. +1 almost done, so we might see some aggression starting not too long out of the Terran player. Generally they're going to be going for it pretty quickly. 2 idle SCVs just kind of chilling over here. And the starport finally going up, so some drop play will probably be coming up here pretty soon. Worker count, still the same gap. Oh, actually it's only 1 back now since he's been chrono boosting. It's getting a little bit more even on economy. Still about 200 behind just because of 1 mule being out at all times. That's just how it's going to go. And still no proxy pylons. This game's kind of settled down a lot. There isn't any big push coming out of either side that we can see. 3rd and 4th gas is being taken and populated. +1 armor has been started. More supply depots going down there in the back. And the starport's going to move over and probably start pumping out medvacs because he hasn't seen any Colossus or anything, so why wouldn't you make medvacs? Good little defense squads at each base right here out of Eternity. Now, pretty risky on this map to have your army split up like this because it's hard to detect a frontal attack, besides this observer chilling here, but hard to detect, you know, maybe a pickup, maybe he hasn't been rallying stuff out, something like that. They're loaded up in medvacs coming around to the back of your base, so that's why he has those there, just being extra cautious. There's no watchtowers, so we can't rely on that. Good observer placement up here in the north, though. That's a really great place for an observer coming in for a drop, and the drop is probably going to come from that direction just because you want to be able to jump between the natural and the expansion pretty easily. And pretty big push here out of Crazy, actually. Army supply definitely in favor of him. Gas is much lower, but that's just kind of how it goes with the Terran army, especially for his Protoss at this stage in the game. Much more mineral heavy. And let's see how this first engagement goes. It's going to burn. Okay, yeah, there's the photon overcharge. Kills off 1 Marine, that's it though, and burns a photon overcharge for it, so that's pretty good. Another photon overcharge is actually ready though from that mothership core. It had 200 energy. It's been out for quite a long time, so he's probably not going to want to engage on this. A few zealots running in, actually. They're going to make their way straight into that mineral line, and all these reinforcements are not actually moving towards it at all. So how many of these are they actually going to pick off? Ooh, those workers are going down. 5-4 drop going on over here in the main base. Stim going out. They're just kind of walking back over to the ledge though. 1 medvac does get picked off. That was a little bit of a risky maneuver here, and it's actually probably going to cost him most of that army. Good force fields, making him run around, take a lot more damage. His photon overcharge is down. Mothership core does die, but it didn't have any energy on it, so not the biggest loss here. And the Protoss should be just cleaning up this entire Terran army right now. In the meantime, quite a lot of damage done back at this mineral line. 14 workers killed by the Protoss out of those 3 zealots. Pretty effective exchange actually for the Protoss right now. So he's actually ahead now. There are 4 mules down on the field right now, so his income isn't going to show it. But he's getting storm, he's getting charge lots, is he behind on upgrades? He's at 1-1, so he's about to be behind in upgrades, but not really behind at this exact moment, so that's not bad at all. Protoss definitely came back into this game with just those few zealots and a little bit of miss micro over here out of Crazy. Now the 3rd base is going up for both players. The Terran did establish it before you actually pushed out. Now he's putting up a wall of supply depots, which he needed to build anyway in order to block on this ramp over here. And a few zealots are coming up again. I really love the Judicator zealots. They look so awesome. And they're just going to start, you know, slicing SCVs up. Zealot life. Alright, so they are going to get picked off by this little squad right here. They take out a Marine and a few SCVs. Pretty good exchange again. Drop going down, shutting down this third. It might actually get cancelled. Zealot warp in over there though, so maybe not. I probably would have warped in a High Templar right there. This medvac is very high on energy. It looks like it's just going to boost over into the main base. There it goes. High Templar snipes it. Out you go. Nicely done there by Eternity. Again, coming back into this game. Crazy is now 2-1 though, and Eternity is at, he's halfway to 2-2. So he's actually going to be on even ground and a little bit ahead on upgrades here in a second. Bunch of probes kind of chilling there randomly in the middle. Now the thing is, there are High Templars out. There's only 3 of them. They have enough for, right now, 2 storms, about to be 3 storms. That's not a lot of AoE damage, though it's pretty Marine heavy at this point over here out of the Terran player's army. Looks like he's split up looking for proxy pylons and the like, wondering where those zealots are coming from. And they're actually coming in from this low ground and running all the way around, which is why he's not finding it. And actually the Protoss player is moving out right now, and the Terran's army is divided. This is not going to be good if any type of engagement actually goes down. Now, the opposite of that would be the fact that drop play is really, really good. So we'll have to see how this actually works out. If the Protoss can just get up into the production line, he may be able to take this game. But again, there's only 3 High Templars for AoE damage and an Archon, which kind of counts. And his 2-2 is just about to finish, so that's why he's going to be going for this timing. And the drop goes down here out of Crazy at the third base. Looks like he is going to be able to take this out pretty easily. There's anything coming over here to defend. And it looks like Eternity is just going to go ahead and go straight into the production. Ghosts are out on the field right now to try and get to those ghosts, but they don't. The High Templars in the back getting taken out. They get 2 storms out, but they don't deal very much damage. The third High Templar does go down without using his storm at all. And these Zealots are just kind of working on an empty bunker and a bunch of supply depots right now. This bio army has been stimmed to all goodness though, so these Zealots actually have a pretty good chance of killing it off. And the third is getting pushed on by the Protoss. The third of the Protoss himself did get taken out by Crazy, though he's establishing a new one. He is taking a lot of time throwing away SCVs, while actually using the SCVs for tanks for all this bio up at the top. So buying as much time as possible. Crazy trying to prevent him getting up into the main base. He started Hellbat production, it looks like, because he saw so many Zealots. And now, okay, he might actually be able to hold here, maybe. These Zealots are going to slice through these SCVs so fast, though. This rally in the back would actually help a lot, and the drop came back from the north. Meantime, the natural did go down, so he's now on 1, Eternity's on 1 mining base right now because of all this drop play, and his main push finally does get cleaned all the way up. Yep, okay. So now that the dust is settling slightly, as this drop gets cleaned up finally, those 150/120 supply armies have been reduced down to 9 SCVs versus 61 probes, so very far ahead in probe count right now. He did manage to keep almost all of his probes alive. That was very well done as far as running away. Most oversaturated base ever goes to 53 on minerals, okay? Pretty ridiculous amount of saturation right now. High Templars being warped in here at the new third base. Bunch of probes being moved over to it. He's going to be on 2 mining bases with 63 probes versus 2 mining bases with some mules repairing a command center and a mostly mined out mineral patch with no gas being harvested right now. Alright, so decent sized force moving up here out of Crazy though. He's going to start focusing stuff down. The storm goes down on his own Zealots. That did not work out so well. That storm killing 1 Marine. Not the greatest storms right now. Bunch of Zealots being warped in. This would be a good time to storm as they're standing there trying to tank him down. Zealots pushing him back up the ramp, though, and almost within storm range. Storm should be going down on the back of him. There it goes. Big storm landing on almost all the units there. Another storm lands on top of all of the medvacs. They almost all die, actually. And now the medvacs are going to try and boost in over this, but the Archon with his splash damage, not the best idea. Okay. Big storm going down, and by big I mean hitting 2 units, which at this point in the game is a pretty decent sized storm as far as the overall forces. Drop going up and down. They're going to fly back over this Archon though, and okay, he switches targets. He almost got that medvac full of Marauders. That would have been actually a pretty big hit because that constitutes about half of the force of our Terran player right now with 12 SCVs and 2 mules. Let's see what his income is. He has only 400 less income. Okay, now the mules just died. He has half of the income of our Protoss player right now with a quarter of the workers. Pretty standard in Terran versus anything. The fourth is being reestablished here by Eternity. Now Crazy is at 3-2. The Protoss player is only at 2-2, so the Protoss is now behind in upgrades, and he decided he really didn't enjoy that assimilator, so he killed it. So that was an interesting misclick. Right now the army value very, actually, I was going to say very one-sided, but that gas, it's a decent amount of gas units. If those storms land, they will deal a lot of damage. So we'll have to see. There are 2 ghosts though, so if you can get good EMPs off. Medvac just kind of cruising around, not sure if that was hoping to get repaired. This one Marine is like, don't worry about it, I got this entire Nexus by myself. The Zealot's like, nope, gonna slice you up. High Templar being finished down there. The Marine did discover important information though, that this third was getting built, so that's a good reason to throw away a Marine for sure. Right now I think Crazy, properly microing, should be able to destroy Eternity's army pretty easily. Now these pylons have been here forever and a day. Crazy decided, okay, I guess I'll kill them. Not at any means going to try and block this off. Terran's so OP, RFL. Probably because he sees a bigger army than he has, and he has 73 probes. I'm not really sure why he's still making probes. I guess it's just kind of macro habit. But he doesn't need that many probes at this point in the game when he's only really mining technically off 1 base at this point. He needs to be really picking up some more Zealots and stuff. He's floating a lot of minerals right now. Right now he's trying to save the Warpins in case there's a drop, but he has a High Templar here, so that can be a pretty big storm. I don't know, it seems like he's missing out on a few rounds of Warpins right now though. You definitely want to use like 1 or 2 of your Warp Gates at all times and save enough to take out a medvac, really is what you want. 2 ghosts being loaded up in this medvac. So they're being loaded, generally you load it up in a low energy medvac so that way you can just kind of boost over or boost to the side, and drop them and let them EMP the back line, which is going to be the High Templar. So we'll have to see how this engagement actually goes. It's a pretty cool micro trick if he manages to pull it off. In the meantime, these 3 ghosts moving up. The Archons and Zealots though are definitely in front of these High Templar by quite a good amount. Our storms, oh, good time warp actually. With a storm on top of that, that could be really, really devastating. Big storms going out on the entire Terran army. They then merge into Archons, and here we go. See, there's so much being floated here. If another warp-in, if there's a whole second line of Zealots, I feel like this would have gone in Eternity's favor. And in the meantime, Crazy's just going to be able to clean this entire army up. And now he's going to be able to take out this Nexus too. Alright, he's going to stim over, try and pick off as many of these probes as he can, and then he just kind of chills and stops attacking. Is going to be going for another base. Eternity did finish off this base though, and it looks like he's going for Colossus in the background as there are no Vikings, so that's a pretty good idea. There's 2 High Templars over here, 1 at his 3rd, some cannons up, so he's going to lose this 4th, which was his 3rd I guess. Well, his re-established 3rd, not his original 3rd. And there's going to be ghosts moving up. They're probably going to try and land some EMPs right here. Nope, okay, they're being pretty cautious. Sniping and warping in Zealot. That was a lot of energy for 1 Zealot though. I probably would have gone for the EMP there. He's going to go ahead and back up though. Pretty decent sized army. There's actually not a lot of Marines though, and Marines are really the damage of the Terran army. He has as many Marines as he does Marauders, which is kind of interesting. 2 Hellbats moving across the field right now, stimming over with those last few Marauders. Looks like he's going to go for the final hoorah push here. Now, the Protoss player is only down about, I guess that's 900 minerals in an army. That's really not that big of a deal at this point. It's I mean, it's a big deal, but it's not the biggest deal with Protoss AoE. Some good storms get out. Oh, EMP lands on those 2 High Templar in the back before they can get the storm off, and that is definitely going to go in Crazy's favor. Without those 2 High Templars storm, it's just way too much to come back from. Still floating minerals and gas a little bit here. It looks like Eternity is just going to have to tap out of this game, as Crazy makes a pretty solid comeback actually. Pretty surprising to come back from that few workers. And he's only at 31 right now. Do you feel good? Because you shouldn't. I microed good. Okay, he got some pretty good, got that good EMP there at the end. Up at this fight though, I feel like that was mostly just the warp in that didn't get used. It actually won him that battle, but very well played by both players actually. Better than I would have played, that's for sure. But thanks for tuning in. This is Lokazi casting some StarCraft subreddit CastIt games. Continue to post these up, guys. I'm going to be casting these more and more often, trying to get back in the practice for casting. It's been a little while since CSL has been over for a little bit, / in the championship stuff, which we didn't get into this year. Sad face, University of Houston. I don't go there, but I do cast for them, and have for quite a few years now. But anyway, thanks for following me on my social media and that type of stuff. If you do, if you don't, there's that social media links right there on the screen. You can see where to find me, see these videos posted up. Thanks for tuning in. Keep throwing those replays up on CastIt. This is